Hello viewers, this is Nilanjana Sharkar wishing you a very welcome to our study Pathshala and also wishing a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to you. I hope all you are safe and good, taking care of yourself and as well as your family members. So let's get back to today's class. So today is another important day that we will utilize to learn about another important topic. So today's topic is auxin phytohormone, which is from plant physiology unit. So let's start today's class. So what is auxin? Auxin is a phytohormone, that is the plant hormone, okay? And this plant hormone helps to growth and development of plant bodies. Dutch biologist Fritz Walmart Wendt was first who described the auxin and its role in plant growth and development. After him, Kenneth V. Thiemann was first who isolated these phytohormones and determined its chemical structure, which is indole 3 acetic acid. Tryptophan is the precursor of the auxin hormone, and tryptophan is an aromatic amino acid. Naturally widespread auxin is indole 3 acetic acid and it is predominant in nature. Other natural auxins are indole 3 butyric acid and indole 3 pyruvic acid. So we will now see what are the structures of the naturally occurring auxins. First one is tryptophan, which is the precursor of the auxin biosynthesis, and second one is indole 3 acetic acid, which is the naturally predominant auxin, and third one is phenyl acetic acid, which is again a auxin hormone. Okay, some synthetic auxin hormones are found in our surroundings. These are 2,4-D, 2,4,5-T and alpha NAA. These are the structures of the synthetic auxins. This is 2,4-D, which is 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. This one is 2,4,5-T, which is 2,4,5-trichlorophenoxyacetic acid, and this is alpha NAA, which is alpha-naphthalene acetic acid. These are used mainly as herbicides to kill weeds. Auxins show morphogen-like characters and its important role in cardinal system in plant life cycle and as well as for the plant body development and growth. Where we found this auxin hormone in plant body? We can find auxin hormone in the tip portions of the plant body. This might be stem tip, bud tip and root tips. And here indole 3 acetic acid produced, it results in the cell elongation. Okay, how this auxin hormone can promote the cell elongation we will see. In 1880, Darwin first concluded by an experiment that a growth stimulus is produced in the coleoptile portion of plant and it is transmitted through the growth zone. As you can see in this diagram, we will learn how this auxin hormone works. I hope this picture is visible to all of you. Here the red dots are for auxin. Firstly, auxin hormones are fairly distributed in the tip portion of the plant. After perceiving the sunlight, the phase which in front of the sunlight starts to synthesize auxin in less amount, but which is distantly situated from the sunlight starts to synthesize auxin in high amount, and that portion which consists high amount of auxin starts to elongate their cell in rapid way and it starts bending towards the sunlight. This is how the auxin works on the cell elongation as well as phototrophism. Okay. So what are the functions of the auxins? As we have seen before that auxins play important role in phototropism as well as in cell elongation, right? Apart from this, auxin play important role in apical dominance. That means plant grow longitudinally in very fast basis and plant become very much tall. and that is why this apical dominance phenomena is the reason for the inhibition of the lateral buds of a plant. If we assume this is a plant and these are the lateral buds and this is the tip portion of this plant. Here auxin hormone is so much high, causing the plant grow in taller bases. But if we cut this portion, after cutting the tip portion of the plant, the auxin hormone become insufficient for the plant growth. After the insufficiency of the auxin hormone, the lateral buds break their dormancy and starts to grow faster bases and becomes bushier in appearance. This techniques, that means the removal of the tip portions of the plant, is used by the gardener to trim the plant to make the plant in bushier appearance. As you can see, this plant is much more bushier while this plant is very much tall in height, showing a apical dominance, and this plant is showing lateral buds dominance. Okay. So this is all functions of auxin hormones. This one is apical dominance, lateral bud inhibition, stem elongation and phototropism. We have learned this phenomena today, right? Other functions are delay in abscission, parthenocarpy, ethylene biosynthesis and formation of xylem and phloem. We will learn these functions in our upcoming plant physiology sessions, okay? So now, how this auxin is produced? That means the biosynthesis of auxin. Auxin biosynthesis occurs in two ways. These are tryptophan dependent pathway and another one is tryptophan independent pathway. Although tryptophan dependent pathway is predominant to produce auxin hormone, that means here tryptophan act as precursor, right? And from this precursor, the final product, that is indole 3 acetic acid, can be produced by four pathways. These are, first one is bacterial pathway, second one is IAN pathway, third one is IPA pathway, while fourth one is TAM pathway. Okay, so here how tryptophan becomes indole 3 acetic acid via these four pathways we will see. First, in bacterial pathway, tryptophan monooxygenase acts on tryptophan, resulting in the production of indole 3 acetamide. After this step, IAM hydrolase, which is indole 3 acetamide hydrolase, acts on indole 3 acetamide to produce indole 3 acetic acid, which is the terminal product of this biosynthesis procedure. Second one is IAN pathway, that is indole 3 acetonitrile pathway. In this pathway, indole 3 acetic acid formed from tryptophan via two intermediates. These are indole 3 acetaldoxime and indole 3 acetonitrile. Here nitrulase enzyme works on indole 3 acetalnitrile to form indole 3 acetic acid. The third pathway, that is IPA pathway, here tryptophan transaminase acts on tryptophan in a reversible pathway to form indole 3 pyruvic acid. After this step, indole 3 pyruvic acid decarboxylase acts on indole 3 pyruvic acid, which results in the emission of one molecule of carbon dioxide and the production of the indole 3 acetaldehyde. After this step, indole 3 acetaldehyde dehydrogenase acts on this molecule to form indole 3 acetic acid, which is functional product of this biosynthesis procedure. And the fourth pathway, that is the TAM pathway, here tryptophan decarboxylase acts on tryptophan to produce one molecule of tryptamine and one molecule of carbon dioxide. After this step, amine oxidase acts on tryptamine to produce the final product auxin, that is indole 3 acetic acid. So this is tryptophan dependent auxin biosynthesis procedure. Okay. Next one is chemiosmotic model of auxin. So what is the necessity to learn about this model of auxin? We have to know first, right? First, we have to know that auxin is a polar transport. That means auxin transports from one end to another. It actually occurs mainly basipetally. That means from apex to its base. So the one-way transport system needs some protein carriers or some channel proteins for the transportations. These are, one is auxin influx protein and auxin efflux protein. Alright, influx means these proteins helps to auxin to enter into the cell, while efflux protein means these proteins helps auxin to move out from the cell. Okay, so auxin influx protein is AUX1, while auxin efflux protein is PIN protein. Okay, so in this figure, PIN proteins are this one, which is situated in basal region of the cell, while AUX1 situated on the cell randomly. This should be AUX1. It might situate randomly on the cell membrane. Okay, so now we will learn about this model, that is chemiosmotic model of auxin. Okay, so here you can see IAA minus is in cytoplasm. That means the ionic form of indole 3 acetic acid is predominant in cytosol. So we can write in this way that in cytosol IAA minus is predominant, right? And it is deprotonated form. That means here hydrogen ion is absent, right? But in the intercellularic space you can see that IAAH can be found. So we can write in this way that intercellularic space, here IAAH is predominant and it is protonated form, right? As IAH is protonated form, that means here the concentration of H plus is again high. If the H plus concentration is high, that means here pH should be less than 7, that means acidic. As you can see in this space, pH is about 5, but in the cytoplasmic area the IAA minus is predominant, that is why here pH is almost neutral. Okay, so here IAA moves out from this cell by the PIN proteins and comes to intercellularic space, and here it assembles with the hydrogen plus ions to form IAH, which is protonated form of indole 3 acetic acid. This protonated form can diffuse the cytoplasm directly, and after diffusion this IAH dissociates again to form IAA minus and H plus. So here H plus ions concentration may high, and this H plus ions moves out from this cytoplasmic area to the intercellularic space by the H plus ATPase channel. Okay, but sometimes this protonated form can enter in the cytoplasm but not directly. It needs a transporter, which is H plus permease co-transporter, and by this transporter IA minus and H plus can co-transport and enter in the cytoplasm. Okay, by this H plus ATPase, the extra H plus ions from this cytoplasm moves out from the cell, mainly from cytoplasm, and this H plus ions remains in the intercellularic space. That is why the concentration of the H plus ion becomes so high in this portion, and that is why the pH of this portion remains acidic in nature. After this dissociation of IA minus again moves out from this cell by the PIN protein and again enters the intercellularic space and again assemble with H plus ion to form IAH, and this IAH again diffuse directly to its next cell's cytoplasm. That is how the transportations occur. Okay, so first event is IA minus enters into the cell. After this, the cell wall is maintained at an acidic pH which is about 5, right? Next one is it shows a neutral pH in the cytosolic area, because here IA minus is predominant and here the pH is about 7. These IA minus ions exit the cell via the auxin anion efflux carrier, which is PIN protein. After that, these carriers are concentrated at the basal ends of each cell in the longitudinal pathway. That means the PIN proteins are situated in the basal region of each cell, right? So this is for today's session, and thank you for watching this video. If this video is helpful for you, you can give feedback by click the like button or dislike button below. And if this video is helpful for you, don't forget to share this video, and lastly, subscribe this channel. And if you want to get notifications whenever a new video is available on this channel, you can press the bell icon below. And till then, be safe, be healthy. Bye bye.